Hey you folks, this is Chandran here, and today we're going to be taking a look at, well, Chandran might have. This is a skill monkey face build. He's going to be relatively decent in combat. We're going to Tactician, so he needs to be. Plays the dual role of ranged blaster and up close tank, depending on what we need for the situation. And he's probably my weakest member in combat, but he does all of the other stuff. The way we're going to go about that is like this. Hey, with us?
Fate, dost thou, as thou did.
Nice to talk with you once again. Let's take a look. We're going Bard, because Bard, of course we are. For cantrips, Mage Hand. This is a nice pickup, allowing you to do a lot of silly stuff and also access one of those burrowing holes around the place. Blade Ward to get the option to half bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing attacks. When you're stuck in this silly situation, this can be a great one to have access to. For spells, we are going to pick up the talky ones, Disguise Self and Speak with Animals. We also get Healing Word, so we can bonus action pick up our comrades if they happen to go down, and Thunder Wave to push back enemies and deal a little bit of damage once in a while. Mostly the first part. Ability scores, Strength, doesn't matter, so 8. Dexterity, 14, this is to maximize the effect of our medium armor. Constitution, we need some amount of survivability, let's get it to 12. Intelligence, 14, we could switch around these stuff to get a little more effective in combat, but that would mean losing out of more bonuses to our skills, and skills is sort of the name of the game here. Wisdom, 10, don't need it that much anyway, so let's just leave it there. And Charisma, 17, so we can get it to 18 with Auntie Ethel's hair. For skills, Sleight of Hand, this is the guy that's going to be doing all of the pickpocketing and locked and traps and stuff like that. Investigation, Arcana and History, as you can see I have inherited from background here, I'm a Sage. And Stealth from being a Wood Elf. We also pick up Performance here. We do not take Deception, Persuasion or Intimidation, because I don't want Intimidation, and we're going to get the other two later. If you want Intimidation, just pick it up here instead of Performance, probably. For level 2, instead of going a second level of Bard, we are going to change it up a bit and pick, you might have guessed it, but Warlock is going to be what we're going for here. For the cantrips, we take Eldritch Blast. This is going to be how we blast at a distance. We take Poison Spray as the other one. If we need to deal damage in melee, this is one version of doing it, especially if we have disadvantage for some reason. For the subclass, we're going with Archfey. We could take Great Old One. It might technically be better, but this fits the theme so much better. I'm a Wood Elf, a Wood Half-Elf. The idea is a Latran, but that's not an option, so having a deal with an Archfey just makes more sense. The Fey Presence ability is also quite nice. Frightening nearby foes, especially when you have them caught in a doorway or something like that, can be quite strong. Save is going to be okay on this one, since it's based off of Charisma. And that's a nice pickup. For spells, we don't want these ones. We want Armor of Agathis and Hex, very standard Warlock stuff. Armor of Agathis is fine-ish in a sticky situation later. It's not something I like to use a lot, but it's a good one to have access to. For spells, level 2, Warlock. We're going for the second level of Warlock here. We want to pick up Expeditious Retreat. Having the option to bonus action dash is great. You don't use it that much, but having the option to do it. I'm not keeping concentration in this one all the time through, but it's nice. Eldritch Invocation. Agonizing Blast, integral to actually dealing some amount of damage on this build. We do not have extra attack at this point, or we won't get it at level 5 at least. We will get it later and become a bit more gishy. But for now, Agonizing Blast is the way we deal damage. Double bolts at level 5. All the cantrips, nice. And the second one we're picking up is Beguiling Influence. This is where we get our Deception and Persuasion that we want. We're not going to be replacing any spells. We have the ones we want. And instead of picking up level 3 Warlock here, we are going back to Bard. For the spells, I'll take this and Whispers. This might be changed out later depending on your preferences, so it might not be too relevant. It's a nice way to get Frighten on an opponent if there's someone out there that you really want to deal with. So first up, let's just start by changing out the skills. It's set to performance. There's no reason to have extra good performance. Persuasion and Deception, however, yes please. You could also add it up to Sleight of Hand if you really want to be better at this, but with some of the items you can get access to, that's not too necessary. I think this is a bit overkill as well, but it fits very much with my talky nature. And for spells, we are picking up Cloud of Daggers. The pathing of enemies in this game is not insanely good, so they will often run through these clouds of daggers if you place them correctly. You can also shove people into them, thunder wave into them, Shadowheart in this version has an option where you can pull stuff into them. She's using the glaive you can steal from the druids. Subclass, College of Law is nice, but I have Sage as my background, and I don't get Arcana then from this one. Also, Intimidation is not something I really want, and Sleight of Hand I picked up already because I knew I wasn't going to take this. Instead, I'm going with College of Swords. This gives us medium armor. It also gives us scimitars. We don't care that much. It gives us some decent flourishes here. We're not going to be attacking a lot in melee at this point, but extra 4 armor class can be really great if you've locked up a couple of people in melee with this guy. Also, there's some decent other ones for later. For the fighting style, we're going to be using a shield, so dueling for the extra damage doesn't matter that much at the moment, but will later. And for spells, we are, what are we at here? Going to change out Dissonant Whispers. And if you want, this is an option, I'd say. You can pick up, where's it at? There, Detect Thoughts. This allows you all of the options to talk with people, basically, that you could want. You already have this from the Illithid Tadpole, sort of, but if you're playing the really good playthrough, you probably don't want to rely too much on Illithid powers, at least not through the first part of the game. So this is one version to detect thoughts. If you don't want to be doing that, you can take whatever else second level spell you please here, or you can really just keep the Dissonant Whispers you already have. Shadow is one option. This is great for a bit of up close area of effect damage. And I think that is what I'm going to be picking up here. I don't want to detect thoughts because we are the good guys and people don't like when you try and detect their thoughts, so let's not do that. We'll just lie to them instead. No one really bothers when you're good at lying, so that's great. This is the build I'm using, level 5 for my Tav. We've got a couple of items that are sort of relevant. We don't care that much about our melee attacks at this point because we only have the one. So Ritual Dagger is great because it gives us a bonus action option to get an extra plus 1d4 bonus to attack rolls and saving throws. Yes please, and the extra attack can be good if you can set it up so that you can Eldritch Blast. I like using this from the beginning, just blood sacrificing, then Eldritch Blast is a decent opener. Gloves of Missile Snaring, so that he takes less damage when getting shot at, and the best armor we can put him in that is medium, so change shirt +2 at level 5, just buy it from the druids. And then I have Smuggler's Ring for an extra +2, both to stealth and sleight of hand. I put this on and off as I please, and I have a set of gloves of thievery, to change out for advantage. It means you still don't really miss any of those checks. That should be it for Chandran. I'll see you back in a short while with one of the other builds. Thank you for joining, if you have been. I've been Chandran, you've been awesome. Don't forget to do the YouTube stuff, and bye-bye.